Okay. Michigan State football quickly. Just destroyed. I don't even know what the final score is because I forgot, but it was 42-0 at one point?
Yeah, embarrassing.
Where are you
It
at
was,
with everything?
it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing all the way through. The players weren't prepared. Coaching staff wasn't prepared. There was a lot of hype and energy in Spartan Stadium. None of it mattered. Nothing mattered. Rose Bowl team being back didn't matter. It was just we were never in the game. Literally from the coin toss to the end, never ever had a chance. Never were in the game. It was honestly embarrassing. Truly was because I thought back to like even the worst Michigan State teams, and I might be wrong on this, so you can correct me if I am. But I don't remember a game where we just laid down and died like that. Like that was a complete, at least at home, I'll say, like at home, rolling over and just not having a chance at any point of the game. I can't remember a game like that off the top of my head. So it was frankly embarrassing, to be honest with you. There's nothing you could take away from it that is a positive in my eyes.
Yeah, other than like us saying it can't get worse. I think that
Yeah,
applies to
like
Michigan
we
State here,
couldn't
but
tackle, we couldn't do things mentally right. I mean, we were getting formation penalties to start the game for having too many men in on a punt formation. I mean, it was just nasty behavior by the football team. It was really really bad, and I hate saying this because I do feel for the players after like the all the stuff surrounding the football program this week, but also like there's only so much that could be an excuse for this because it was really really bad.
so I welcome that thought. I'm open to hearing it out. I think I'm on the opposite side of it though. I don't I don't know how we can even say anything about the players. And I know you can't. Like if we're really truly just like judging how did these football players play? I think Noah Kim played like a D minus for what Noah Kim's capable of. I think you could probably apply that to a lot of other dudes on the field this game. But like am I surprised all these guys played worse than they normally should? No, not at all. Like I don't know. I don't know how I would perform in this spot. Probably horrible, right? Like these kids have been put in such a really awful spot. I just feel so bad for them. Honestly, I really do. And maybe I shouldn't. Like I think that's the difference between you and I from the little we've talked about this game since it happened. Like when we FaceTimed in the third quarter or whatever it was. Like I feel like I have a little more like, I feel for the players, and you're like, make a tackle. But
Dad, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know what to say. Like, I feel really stupid because this was like my play of the week in every way. I had Michigan State money line. I had Michigan State plus 16. I had Jeremy Bernard 2 touchdowns. That felt great when he got the first one, by the way. They tried to get him 2 right away, by the way. But I just wildly overestimated how much vibes matter with football. Like it doesn't matter that Thunderstruck played. Yeah, like when the game starts, none of that matters. And I really thought it would, man. I genuinely thought it would. I thought Mel Tucker was an absolute cancer, and I still think he was. But it doesn't matter because this roster that Mel Tucker built still has to play the football games, but now they have to play them without their head coach. And you were big this week on saying like whatever happens, it's Harlan. It's not anybody. That was your thing throughout the week when I was trying to like lead into, oh, this is so great for Mark. You're like, well, let's walk it back. It's Harlan. Harlan underwhelmed me so much in this game, and I don't know what I
Mhm.
expected, but like that very first time out he took when there was an obvious missed call. I can't believe they reviewed that. Like that's when I knew. I watched that play, and you said like there was never a moment we were even in the game. At least for the 2 minutes before that, I'm like, oh, Michigan State's kind of here. And then our head coach takes a timeout in the most obvious rush up and snap the ball situation ever. Like and there was so many sloppy penalties, man. And I don't know what to do. I don't know where this program goes because you can't blame the players in my mind for the spot they've been thrown in. You can point fingers at Harlan, but Harlan's not supposed to be in this spot. So this is
I
really
mean,
like
maybe. I mean, what about other staff members?
that I like I all the criticisms that were fair before this happened with Mel, I think are still fair of this
Yeah.
staff. Like just is this staff the staff? I don't know that they are, but I fear for what comes next because this is such a like back against the wall season now. And there's a lot of teams out there that if they were put in the spot, I think they would just roll over and die. And I hope that's not what happens to Michigan State, but it's what happened against Washington. And like this team has to play Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. Those are damn good football teams who will pour it on you. And I don't know. I guess we'll see what they're made of, but I just really fear for what comes next, man. Like how bad do you think this is going to get?
I think it could get pretty bad.
I do too.
Honestly, I think it can. And I will walk back my statement, I think, because I really didn't mean to put that much blame on the players, because it's such a, you can't in our position, we can't in our position put ourselves in their shoes. Like that's something that only they know how they feel. And they, like football probably is the last thing on their mind, especially because despite the people who, or how you feel about Mel Tucker, like the person, obviously the coach or whatever, at least the players liked him. I think at least it seemed that the players liked him.
You're right. Aren't
So
there
like maybe
aren't there
so like
aren't there reports of the opposite though this week?
Hmm?
Aren't there reports from reporters that might be friends of the show this week that wasn't the case?
Oh, I actually might not. I might not have seen that.
Okay, maybe I'm off on something. I definitely read one thing where there was like players are happy that he's out.
Oh, for real?
That was I heard one thing, but I don't know if that's
okay.
true.
Well, I can see that, but either or, the point stands that it's tough to put the blame on the players, which is why I kind of look at the staff to do the best they can to have the team at least mentally ready to compete. They were not mentally ready to compete whatsoever, and I don't think the coaches were ready to compete whatsoever. And for the love of God, Harlan, stop chopping my brother in Christ. Stop. It's done. It's done. That left with Melvin. Stop doing it. We are down 30-0, and you look like you're in a tizzy. Stop.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean that was by far the saddest moment of it all for me. Was I had to rewind it. I recorded it. I tweeted out. It's infuriating that the spell that Michigan State football has been under Mel is somehow still here.
The Mel spell.
The Mel spell is not going away for a while. I tweeted like you can't remove a tumor and run a marathon 24 hours later. Like you just can't. I don't. That's how I feel. I feel we just removed a cancerous tumor from Michigan State football, and unfortunately, it's probably going to take like 3 years to even have a pulse. Like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. Because Washington, here is the thing. Like let's use Washington as an example. They were horrendous 2 seasons ago. like one of the worst teams in Power 5. And then they brought in star transfer quarterback and made some quick changes in the portal era. And now here they are, like looking like a playoff contender. So it can happen. You got to make the right hire at the right price. And clearly Michigan State needs to go outside. I think that's the thing. We talked about like who's the hire last week. What are the odds? I think clearly they need something fresh and new, right?
Yeah. Did you hear the D'Antonio comment when they asked him basically what if they wanted him to take over?
No.
He was like, well, I won't comment, but just know I was very much enjoying retirement.
Okay. Yeah. Which is what I think everyone.
Which is kind of what we said.
Can we get Mark a headset though? Now that we've seen a week without the headset, can we get him a headset cart?
Did he was on the sideline, right?
He was on the sideline, but he wasn't one of the 10 listed coaches, so he couldn't have a headset. He was pretty much strictly there for vibes, which, like I said, overestimated vibes and how much they matter here. Get the man a headset, man. What else? It cannot be worse. Just give the Magic Man a headset and see what happens.
The first ever game of alcohol sales at Spartan Stadium will always be known as the Washington Massacre.
Hey, God bless that there was alcohol in that stadium, though, man. Like that probably helped so many people cope. Hopefully the last time we see Michael Penix against Michigan State. I don't know if he has more years or not,
just go get a job. Go to the NFL, please.
Do you want to give a 5-second update on Michigan football, by the way, while we're here? We haven't talked about them on the show once, but they keep failing to cover the spread repeatedly.
Yeah, well, I'll make it 4 seconds because that's how many picks JJ McCarthy should have thrown, and also a free gym.
You're generational. You really are.